Hey Richard,
Hi.
could you give us a quick introduction on who you are?
I'm from the UK. I grew up near Leeds in Yorkshire. I was living in London before we came here. My profession is a graphic designer. I came here with my wife. She's actually the reason we came here because she moved from the London office to the Cape Town office. This is actually the second time in Cape Town. We lived here for 6 months in 2010 and then we went home, and then the opportunity came up to come back and we thought, why not? We enjoyed it the first time, so we're enjoying it again, but this time for longer. We've been here for about a year and 4 months now, and we're planning on staying for possibly another year, but probably at least another 6 to 8 months.
Wow. What is it that you are passionate about? What makes you happy? What makes you laugh?
Well, I quite like sport. I'm quite a big football fan. I play a bit of football, I do a bit of cycling, I do a bit of running, so I generally try and keep fit in those things I enjoy.
If you were to describe your experience here in Cape Town in 3 sentences, what would it be?
It's quite a laid-back lifestyle. It's quite a friendly place. It's a city of quite large extremes, and by extremes I mean the landscape, the fact that there's mountains right behind the city, and the city sandwiched between the sea and the mountains. Also in other extreme ways, I would say that the gap between the rich and the poor is massive. It's quite an extreme place in just weather, and the wind is pretty strong at times. The sea is freezing, but then you get really, really hot days, amazing days of just beautiful sunshine all day long.
When you arrived here first, did that give you a kind of culture shock?
I wouldn't say it was too much of a shock. I was probably surprised how amazing the landscape was. That was kind of a shock. I wouldn't say too much of a culture shock in that there's quite a European feel here with there's lots of English people, Dutch people, German people, and you get that influence in the city, around the city, the houses, and obviously the friends that we've made. We actually have made quite a lot of friends with people from Europe, so it's not too much of a shock. There's not much public transport, which is from being in London and using the tube every day. You suddenly how do we get around? We need to drive everywhere. Cycle quite a lot, but then it's so mountainous that actually sometimes cycling isn't the most practical thing to do.
What would you say is what you like most about living in Cape Town as an expat, and what do you like least?
I guess being from England, the weather is one of the best things. You don't get those grey, rainy days. That means that you can have more freedom to do whatever you want to do. You don't have to change your plans based on the weather. It sometimes can be a bit frustrating from a work point of view. I've not got a work visa, so all of the work that I do is for my clients at home. And I run my business from here, but it's essentially a UK business that I've carried over, so I can still work and I can still keep busy, but it's hard for me to generate new business because I'm not in the UK. So that is probably one of my biggest frustrations.
Are there moments when you miss home?
I mentioned the public transport. I miss that actually. So I never thought I would say I missed a tube, but actually I do a bit. Obviously I miss family and friends. You make a lot of friends here, but they're not always quite the same as I suppose people that you've known for most of your life.
Watch the entire interview on What's It Like TV.
Our interviewee shares personal experience about all aspects of living abroad.
For example, what's it like to integrate and make friends?
What's it like at work and in business?
What's it like to live in the city?
What's it like to bring a partner and kids?
We have prepared for you hundreds of candid real-life accounts of expatriates who are actually there.
It is almost as if you call them directly.
So see you on What's It Like TV and get all your answers before you move.